Hey y'all, so I decided to do Native Americans for my culture project, Native American Indians. With Native American Indians, there's a lot of subcultures or subgroups, and within those subgroups, you have different tribes. So some of like the subgroups that are in the Native American culture are like your Arctic, your subarctics, your northeast and southeast, your southwest, the plains, Great Britain, and many more. And so within those, you have different tribes that are inside of those. Um, with the communication part of Native Americans, they have rules for communication. So some of them are children should not display themselves verbally in front of adults. You need to know somebody well before speaking to them for a long period of time. And to express your emotions verbally or non-verbally, it is inappropriate to do so in public or around others you don't know. The Native American Indian people, they're very quiet. Normally, they put much more emphasis and value on listening rather than speaking. Um, Health conditions, I found that Native Americans, they have a certain gene mutation that's just specific to them. It's the Native American myopathy. With that condition, it's like a neuromuscular condition, and so they have like cleft palate, drooping of the facial features. This is resulting from more relaxed facial muscles, shortened height, and physical maturity in adults. With this, they also get a condition that they overheat really easy, and with that they get like a rapid heartbeat. They hold on, trying to find my thoughts. There it is. Yeah, it's called malignant hypothermia, and with that it leads to stroke, and this condition is also triggered by anesthetic drugs, which accelerates the individual's heart rate. But this is a condition because of the Native American myopathy. They have other conditions just like we do. I couldn't find anything other than that being the most unique thing that is just specifically for them. Healthcare, they are known to not be treated, would you say fairly, I guess, with the American health systems. They do have what's called the Federal Indian Health Services, which is IHS. But this is a great area for Indians. There's a big controversy with this program because they don't know who is truly and who is not truly Native American Indian, because this is for them. Mostly people that live on reserves are part of this program. IHS is the largest district provider of healthcare remaining in the U.S. public health services. Most of the providers for IHS are Native American Indian themselves. So the underlying conflicts is about who is and who is not Indian. I also have, yes, that's all, sorry. For death and dying, so Indians are very ritual people. They believe what comes up from earth goes back into the earth or from the ground. So they basically worship the ground all the time. Anything that they kill, they worship and they thank the ground for it. Most Native American tribes believe that the soul of the dead passed into the spirit world and became part of the spiritual forces that influences every aspect of their lives. Many tribes believe two souls, one that died when the body died and one that might wander and eventually die. So they believe one has already passed and one is still wandering around, I guess, maybe in somebody else's body that will eventually die also. But the burials for Native Americans, like I said, since there's a lot of like subgroups with a lot of different tribes, you're going to have different burial aspects, and there's way too many of them. So, like I said, they vary widely between tribe to tribe. Arctic tribes, for example, they simply left the dead on the frozen ground for wild animals to devour. This is where they worship the ground, so they're giving back, basically. Let me see. So, like the Midwest would place the dead in a lavishing furnished tombs. The Southwest participated in secondary bone burials. So once the body decomposed, then they would go ahead and bury the bones as a second burial. Let me see. Sorry, I just got off a 13-hour shift, y'all. So, like, this one is the Western Mountains would dispose of the dead in caves, or in, like, big cracks in rocks. Some of them would find really soft ground to bury the bodies in, and some of them mummified theirs. So anyway, so you can tell that Native American Indians are widely unique because there's so many different tribes, and all those tribes do different things, including communication, healthcare, medicine, burial, things like that. But they all have one unique thing, and that's that Native American myopathy, which is the condition that's only related to the Native American Indians. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Bye.